we have suffered a really tough times. Year 2020, we have gone through a pandemic that we never experienced in our life. This is the worst pandemic in the history of the world. Millions of people already died and millions of people infected by COVID-19 virus. Although whatever happened in 2020, we have some hopes when different pharmaceutical companies develop vaccines, whether it is mRNA vaccine or traditional vaccines, it doesn't matter. We had some hopes. Somehow we are started to believe that we are going to end this pandemic. This pandemic is going to end. We are going to live the normal life, the life that we are used to live.
But something happened
at the end of the year of 2020 that changed all of these things. In 2021, we also going to face the same pandemic with different variant because the virus have been changed. It changed itself and make itself more powerful. We are talking about the mutation of coronavirus. We are talking about the mutation of COVID-19 virus. So today in this video, we will define what is mutation of virus. Why does virus mutate? Does the mutated virus is more dangerous than the original virus? Will the vaccination be effective on the new strain? Does the standard RT-PCR test identify the new strain of the virus? And the last and final question, when all of this will end? So let's understand each one clearly. First of all, what is mutation? Virus spread to species. It means it spread animal to animal, human to human. But sometimes they jump the species barrier and they transmit from animal to human. And this is what happened for coronavirus. Virus exists to evolve, spread and replicate. It does that by hijacking our cell reproductive system. A virus cannot replicate itself independently. What it needs is a cell. When a virus get into a cell, it's hijack the cell's reproductive system.
And it started to replicate
over and over again. And it started to make hundreds of its copies. By the time it happens, in the time of replicating, there is some kind of mistakes happens and the genomic sequence of a virus got changed. A new kind of genomic structure are found on some particular virus. And the change in genomic structure or DNA structure are known as mutation. This is what called mutation. Right now the question is, why does virus mutate? It is very common that virus mutate. If you look at the earlier viruses like influenza or Ebola, all these viruses mutated.
But the thing is, our immune system are naturally capable of fighting with virus.
When any kind of virus comes into our body, our immune system started to release antibodies and T cells to fight with the virus. But in the case of vulnerable people who are already getting some kind of disease, their immune system cannot able to fight with this virus. So a vulnerable people's body are the breeding ground of a virus. It stay in the human body for weeks and months and it get the chance to mutate itself and it become a mutated version. Then it transmit from infected person to another person. This is how virus mutates and transmit from one person to another. So let's have a look the mutated version of COVID-19 virus. The new strain have been found in UK on December 20, year 2020. And the new variant is known as B117. This is not the only variant of coronavirus. This virus has more than 20 mutations, but this is one of the prominent mutation, but this mutation is more concerning. Although there are different countries have different mutations like Nigeria, Spain, Brazil, South Africa. These countries, the new kind of variant also be identified and these strains are far more different than what is found in UK. So let's have understand, is it more dangerous or deadly? Any kind of change at the genomic level in the genomic sequence of a virus have different outcomes. The genomic sequence of a virus determines how infectious it would be, the characteristics of this virus, all sort of things are determined by the genomic sequence of virus. So let's understand this way. R number defines the reproduction rate of a virus. The reproduction number of COVID-19 virus is between 2.5 to 3.5. It means an infected person can transmit the infection on average 2.5 to 3.5 per person. And this is what happens without any kind of lockdown or social distancing. But implementing those restrictions, these numbers came down to 0.8 to 1.1. This means an infected person can transmit one person on an average. If we look at the reproduction number of mutated version, it increased point, and the reproduction number of new strain is between 1.5 to 1.7. And this increase in reproduction number is really something to be concerned. According to scientists, the new strains are 70% more contagious than the original virus, and the number of infected people will be increased rapidly. Scientists are really concerned about the transmission rate of this particular virus. There is no evidence that this virus is more deadly deadly. So right now the question is, will the vaccination work on the new strain? When the new strains have been identified in UK on December 20, 2020, there is some kind of information are circulating, and the information is about this virus are more deadly and it cause instant death. But the real thing is kind of different. This type of information are actually creating anti-vaccine mentality, and people who are already against the vaccines, their hesitancy are getting more stronger because somehow they believe and these vaccines are not going to be effective on the new strains. That's why the hesitancy of taking vaccines are also increasing. But scientists made it clear that the change that had happened with that virus is so small, it cannot affect the overall efficacy of the vaccine. The vaccine will still effective on the new strains. One thing that scientists are really concerned is if the virus keep mutating, then the vaccine will not be effective, or the effect of this vaccine will be negligible. That amount of change in virus are not going to happen overnight. It will take a long time, so vaccine will be still effective on this new strains. Okay, another big question is that does the standard RT-PCR test can identify the new strain? Standard RT-PCR test is a test that can identify the presence of coronavirus in human body. But the problem is this cannot identify the type of strain. It means strain cannot be identified by this standard test. In order to identify the strain by analyzing the genomic structure of the virus, it can only identify what type of strain is this. Otherwise, it cannot be identified. Okay friends, this is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe our channel. See you in the next video.